Remember, remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Voila! In view, humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the virtues of fate. Can't read with this thing on. This visage is no veneer of vanity. This is the Nomads of Fantasy.
Oh.
And this is episode 109, where we are discussing V for Vendetta, movie from 2005. With me this week, I have the voracious Brandon.
People shouldn't be afraid of their government. Government should be afraid of their people.
Dun dun dun. And I also have the virtuously vain Eric.
Virtuously vain? Oh no.
I don't know. I'm singing the V words.
Behind this mask, there is more than flesh. Behind this mask, there is an idea, and ideas are bulletproof.
I almost went with that one.
It's a good one.
It's
a good quote. It's a heavy hitter.
Good quotes throughout this movie.
Oh yeah.
Very good verbiage.
There was a plethora to choose from for this for this intro. I was trying to I gotta think of a V word. I don't know. Vicarious.
They are tough.
There's a lot of V words.
You gotta look it up. Vindicate, vigilant, virtuous, yada yada yada. But
an ass load.
We wanted to jump back to this one because have you either you guys both saw it, right?
I haven't seen it since it came out.
I saw it in high school. We watched it in high school after reading the book 1984 because it's kind of a similar concept there with an oppressive government and everything. So yeah, that's the last time I watched it, and I don't remember if I watched the entire thing, but there's definitely parts of this movie that I don't remember. So this is more or less feels like the first time watching it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's been a while for me, but did we reach out to the socials at all?
We got a couple little socials.
Sure. Why don't we hop over there and we'll check in on the calendar after that.
Over on Twitter at Nomads of Fantasy. Just asked if you remembered this movie and what you think of it. We only got a couple for this one. The Joystick Show said, love it. At the time it came out, it was one of my favorite comic book movies. And our good buddy Jake Iverson said, love this movie. Watched it a lot back in the day. Such cool sequences and chills at certain parts. And that's all for Twitters.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just people just haven't seen this one or haven't seen it in a while, but I don't really hear it being talked about all that much these days. That's for sure. I don't even remember why
we the comic books going on now.
Why we decided to do this one. I don't remember how it came up.
It was Independence Day is coming up.
Oh,
so I thought we were going to talk, do something patriotic, but then this one kind of seemed like a good, England rising up for their freedoms and all that kind of stuff against the fascist, I don't know what we call them, regime or whatever. But yeah,
that makes sense.
I hadn't seen this in a long time, so it was kind of interesting to go back to and see again. But before we get into things, let's just upcoming in the next couple weeks.
With the month of July
is
it's pretty fun.
So
packed schedule.
Yeah, so we're talking about V today. Next week we're going to the Stephen King classic Stand By Me, which I'm very much looking forward to because it's summertime. It's a summer movie. It's not a blockbuster, but yeah, absolutely. It's something a little different tone. It's Stephen King stuff is always, I don't know. It's interesting because that the books are good, so you always got to see how the adaptation goes.
Right.
Third week of July, I believe it's 16th, 17th. We're watching True Grit, going to the cowboy western.
I'm excited about that one.
I felt like doing the western might be fun again because it was actually really fun with Unforgiven.
I know. I'm looking forward to
something about that
western
storytelling, and Hateful Eight was a blast talking through as well. Just, I don't know, this movie, it was just,
I won't give anything away, but it was.
I haven't seen this one either.
I loved it, and it's got some of the best kid acting I've ever seen. So
I've been meaning to watch that one for a while now, good. So I'm excited.
It's got Matt Damon in it too.
Yeah, don't look at anything.
Cast is stacked.
Going blind. Blind.
I know the cast is stacked.
Yeah. This is a little weird, but after that, the summer of Arnold continues. We get into the 80s classic Running Man.
Another one that I have not seen that I'm pumped for.
Another Stephen King.
It is, isn't it?
It's a Stephen King
combo.
Yeah, well, it was under his ghost name or whatever that he used.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, Stand By Me and
Running Man. It's real Stephen King month. I did not know that, and I did not plan that to happen. But it may not be Arnold's best movie, but like I was saying in Discord,
I mean, we've also done The Shining. That was Stephen King's work.
Dr. Sleep.
Hard not to touch on his work. Yeah,
nice.
Dr. Sleep.
End of the month, we're closing out with going back to Tarantino, hitting up some Reservoir Dogs, which
because who hasn't seen it? I forget which one of you hasn't.
This is a banger of a month. We're crossing a couple movies that I've been meaning to see off my list, so I'm very excited.
And they're all really, I don't know. I kind of love all of these movies, except I haven't seen True Grit, so that's the only one I'm missing out on. But I'm looking forward to every single one of them. So nice. Well, we'll have that calendar out on Twitter shortly, and then why don't we take a break real quick right now, and let's come back and victoriously discuss the virtues of V for Vendetta after this. This movie came out, 2005? It was based on a screenplay from the Wachowski siblings, which I completely forgot about.
Yeah.
I remember that part. I forgot who directed it.
James McTeague, who have done some other stuff, but he hasn't done too much since then, according to IMDb. But he did a couple things before here where he was an assistant director on Star Wars Episode 2. He was an assistant director on the Matrix movies. He's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. But this was an interesting one. This was his first big directorial debut, which is interesting. It's also adapted from a comic, which I kind of forgot about.
I didn't even know that until I was doing some more research on it this time around. But yeah, it was originally a graphic novel published by DC.
Yeah.
Under their
written by
fancy label.
Written by Alan Moore, who also wrote The Killing Joke. He wrote The Watchmen. He's got, Superman and Batman, and From Hell apparently is really good. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but which is kind of weird.
Seems like he likes a certain theme.
Some of the things about this movie.
Like anarchy type stuff.
Yeah, there's kind of...
Yeah,
like fascism, governmental Overwatch kind of stuff.
Government oppression. Yeah,
which is weird because apparently he didn't like From Hell and A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This was, I think, his third one to get adapted, but declined to watch the film and asked to not be credited or paid royalties for the movie.
No, he was not a fan after he read the script. Do you want me to? Really? Actually, there's a direct quote from him.
Okay, let me hear.
Yeah, Alan Moore says, after reading the script, he said, "The movie has been turned into a Bush-era parable by people too timid to set a political satire in their own country. It's a thwarted and frustrated and largely impotent American liberal fantasy of someone with American liberal values standing up against a state run by neoconservatives, which is not what the comic V for Vendetta was about. It was about fascism. It was about anarchy. It was about England. So not a fan of the script. After
it sounds like something an author would say about a film adaptation.
Right. You took my work and completely twisted it, which is like, isn't that the point of an adaptation? Like to interpret it your own way, and make it into your own thing. I mean, I get the source material. You're taking the source material, you're taking the idea, but you're creating something. And that's why it's called an adaptation,
Which is tough because you're taking something. I think we run into this with a lot of book to movie adaptations. Like, what do you leave out? What do you keep in? What do you have to change?
It's all about the writers.
You're trying to condense. Who knows? I don't know how big the book is. Condensing that down into, 2 hours and 12 minutes a movie. I don't know.
And it was the Wachowskis' interpretation in the story that they wanted to tell as well. And it, in his quote, it did inform, the movie informed what was happening, like he said, in America at that time, like Bush era stuff. This movie was informed by and inspired by a lot of different things. Like, I don't think I think I like the movie overall, but it didn't, doesn't feel revolutionary, quote unquote, if you will. Like this idea of this government oppression and fascism and whatever has been told many times. Like I said, like in books, movies, just think of Star Wars. It's like the same thing. If you look at, the Empire as the government oppressive force and the rebels as the revolutionaries, it's kind of the same story that's been told before, but and I do like the kind of superhero, quote unquote, spin, if you want to call V a superhero. He's a hero for the people.
Right.
He's something. He's also a murderer, but I don't know.
He's a vigilante.
Yeah, I forgot a lot of his backstory. I just remember dude in a mask.
I did too.
Murdering.
I forget all about that.
Yeah. Murdering people, but because the movie starts out quick, I guess. Well, before we get into the movie, Brandon, going back and rewatching this, having not seen this, what were your thoughts on how was your refreshing of V for Vendetta?
No, I liked it. The only thing that bothers me is it's a good movie, the acting's good. I really have not too much to complain about, but
Hugo Weaving. You don't know him, but he's so good. His performance.
It was just weird that everyone is English in this movie.
Well, it's in England.
But why is Natalie Portman doing a British accent? Keira Knightley.
Because Natalie Portman was huge at the time.
I know. No, I get it. I'm just saying artistically. She does a great job too with the role, when she cries and shit and all that stuff. She's great in the last end of the part of the movie.
The director worked. I was just thinking, director worked on the prequels, so Star Wars prequels. So
that's a good point there.
And she's doing a British accent in the prequels.
Yeah, they're never good, but British people are better actors.
I didn't even notice any of that.
But you don't even know when a British person's a fucking British person in America because their accent's so good. We don't even a guy's doing a Boston accent. A guy's from Ireland or England or Scott, you didn't even know because they're so good over there.
I didn't think it was distractingly bad or anything.
And then Hugo Weaving, he's great, but what's with the accent, bro? Why don't you have any old fucking dead, right? Viciously vicious.
Not all English people are cockneyed.
I can't understand what the fuck
you never. I'm just saying.
Oh.
He'd be somewhere from you don't know where he was taken from. He could have been taken from that area.
Well, it's set in London, so it's I don't know. I didn't have a problem with their accents.
I didn't even know.
No. Again,
I thought Natalie was the kind of because you don't. It's tough because Hugo, you don't get to see his face, but he's got the body movements and the movement to kind of express himself. And Natalie's the one that you're getting the emotion from, and it, I feel bad for her, but she's getting tortured. I laughed at a couple scenes too, but
I remember the catch, but I forgot about she had to go through to get into that, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a fucked up thing to do to somebody that you're trying to convince about your ideology in there.
Yeah,
she asked for it. Not like that though, but like
he was just.
I thought he should be pissed off for a little longer, but we can get to that.
Yeah, I think she. I don't know. I don't know how if we just want to dive into it, but like, I don't know. I think.
Well, if nobody's ever seen it, like, it's a movie about this guy who continues this old ideology. I think it's based on a true story of a guy, right? Guy Fawkes.
Yeah.
Right. Tried to blow up Parliament. Didn't like the leadership. Blow up. Take all the bad guys out. What he considered the bad guys. And then started new and replaced them with like some Catholic leader. They found out about it. They stopped them. They showed this in the beginning of the movie. And then now you have this guy V who's mysteriously like badass. And he just can kill people with knives and shit. Wears a mask at all times, a Guy Fawkes mask. And he is our hero. And he bumps into Natalie Portman's character and saves her from trouble, opens up his life to her in a way. And then he's like, well, I've shown you my life. I can't really let you go. And from there, the two of them have, I guess it's not a love. I don't care about the love story part of this at the end. I mean, like
a mutual respect.
End,
it's like, I think the love comes from just like the connection, you know, it's weird. I agree. It's not like she loves him and wants to like have his babies. I think it's just that like connection, that bond that they formed going through all of this together. And like
he convinced her or opened her eyes, I guess.
Right. He opened her third eye or whatever, you know, because I think she
that's
had
basically
it.
what the movie is. And then kind of like what happens then is just like his whole plan, his whole scheme or whatever he's trying to do.
Right.
And it's up to you to decide if you did the right thing or not. I think we're all probably in the same camp. These guys are really bad people. They deserve being killed by him.
It's like the Nazi party, people. Essentially. Like,
yes.
You know, and like people.
It totally is.
People, and he says it in his first, like, when he breaks into the TV studio and he gives that speech about how everybody's become complacent and they just want to feel safe. But, you know, you're letting the government do too much and you're letting them control too much. And, like, you know, everybody knows it's fucked up, but one person can't stand up. You got to be this nameless, faceless person, which
I couldn't stop.
I like the world building. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I couldn't stop comparing it to Star Wars throughout this whole thing because it is really like the same thing with the how the Empire or how the Emperor rose to power. Because in this movie they basically create this virus and kill all these people to, you know, instill fear in the people. And then the government comes in with this like miracle drug that they have. And they're like, oh, you know, we developed this drug to save everybody. So like the people put their faith in, you know, the government. And then that's how the High Chancellor rose to power. It's the same thing in Star Wars, how the Emperor crafted the Clone Wars, you know, to get the people behind him. And that's how he rose to power. So I just kept making those Star Wars comparisons. I always got Star Wars on the brain. So
Eric, could you imagine if they took this story and threw a Star Wars paint on it? Think about how this Jedi character with a mask, right, is coming through and like taking out people like that, you know, because he uses a blade. You could do it with a Jedi, right?
That would be pretty dope.
Totally.
Taking out the Empire. You could, you know, or use it as some inspiration, but like,
and it would be
that's a
like a
comparison.
You know, it would have to be like not necessarily a Jedi that follows the Jedi ideals. They would have to be like a gray Jedi.
Could be a red light or something like that. Red lightsaber, and you're confused.
Or like
you're thinking,
whatchamacallit, like a white lightsaber, like Ahsoka has, because she's not a Jedi. She's like somewhere in between. Like she doesn't follow the Jedi way, but she's still.
That'll work.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Star Wars Visions, make it happen. Make it into a 20 minute episode. Make it a 2-parter. There you go. Boom. But yeah, that was a good summary, Brandon. Like it's like a totalitarian regime that's, I mean, is he justified because he's going out and murdering people just because they're bad? Like that's kind of a thing that we come to at some point where, like, you know, some innocent people are going to die.
Well, it's like
but it's for the greater good, essentially.
They created the monster. Like they are their own downfall, essentially. You know, because they had this whole facility to do the testing with their super virus, and basically, I don't know. So what was the deal with him? Like he was immune to the virus, and it like made him stronger or whatever.
They were taking all these people who they didn't think were like the people that needed to be in their country, so they would take them, and then they would use them as test subjects, knowing they would die to this virus that they created. They just needed to come up with like the cure for it. So they were testing through all these people. Well, they finally found somebody who could survive it. It was him. Turns out he's dangerous, and he's like some kind of MacGyver because he could take anything and just blow shit up.
Oh, I thought the virus gave him the virus messed him up pretty bad.
I think there was a line that it gave him like superhuman reflexes and stuff like that. Because I remember there was some line that said like, you know, it increased his like abilities. Which, so the virus helped him, you know, become what he was, which was how he was kind of able to take down the facility.
So super smart was also one of his attributes that he gained.
Good about him. No. You can see it in the beginning. Like in the first fight, there's surprisingly not much action in this movie. There's only like 2 main big fights that happen throughout it.
Things.
There's piles and piles of dialogue in this movie that
a lot of it is V taking down his like targets one by one.
Some very good suspense as, you know, he blows up the building in the beginning. Says that next year, you know, everybody come back and let's fuck up this government. But like the in between, how that year fills out, and you know that the next one's coming. You know that, you know, some shit's gonna go down on the 5th of November. So, the way that
I think that helped. I think that was cool. I think that was a good way to structure the movie, though, because while they're trying to make a point, they have a lot of characters in this movie. So having it start off the way they did was nice. I think it did a great job world building, and meeting our hero, as well as Natalie Portman's character, who's pretty much going to be us. We're going to go for the ride. As we learn, she learns. But yeah, there's a date set, so we know in a year what's he going to do with her. So he's going to be going through and taking out these people. So it's, which I love. I love when, like, you know, there's like these bosses or these like people. There's going to be a pattern to whatever he's going to do, and he gives them all a rose, and each one is like in a video game, I could see you doing that thing where you lay down the rose or something like that.
It's like Assassin's Creed when he used to, like the first couple, like 1 and 2, when you used to talk to the people when you assassinated them, kind of
lay them down.
Right. Yep.
Some of them get longer dialogue. Like maybe they were like, hey, you know, you're just a good person who didn't do anything. So you just kind of stood aside. So it's just kind of inaction is action kind of thing. So
a lot of this movie focuses on the like investigation too, like the cat and mouse between V and the investigator, because he was a big character in this movie. You know, he was trying to, I forgot his name, but whoever the investigator was, the character there, but
Finch.
Yeah, he was trying to connect all the pieces because he could see, you know, that there was more here going on here than just a vigilante killing random people. You know, he kind of connected the dots to this facility, the Lark Hill facility and everything. So I thought, I thought that was done well.
That he just zoned in on Lark Hill and was like, "Yep, this thing," and like they explained it in like one scene, and that was just like the impetus for like his entire investigation went down that one road.
There was a couple of times where he was just like, "Oh, I just have a feeling that this is the answer," you know. Oh, no other explanation.
Just happen.
Yeah.
A lot of things just happen throughout this movie. I mean,
it's a comic book movie, though. That's kind of the way that you can explain it away. The two guys, like I had Stephen Fry and who was like Evey's boss, and then the other guy who was on TV. Like those guys look very similar to me, and when he killed one and then I saw the other, I was very confused for a minute.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. It was weird.
Like two overweight English guys that are on TV, but I didn't like it was tough to tell them apart, but eventually I got it. But Evey's boss, you know, felt really bad for that guy too. He had his own like little V for Vendetta basement where, you know, he had like all this hidden
was having contraband
stuff. Yeah.
What's the book? Orwell's book,
1984. Yeah,
that's the one Eric had to read.
1984. That's the one that whole scene like felt like that. Remember with the main character's boss has that whole scene.
Yeah,
with owning something like.
Is that a good book?
Yeah, I thought that was.
I remember it being
it's
good.
an incredible book.
I remember liking it a lot. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's referenced for a reason because it's if you, yeah, dude, that's
it's like the classic like government oppression, Big Brother is watching type stuff, like the government controlling every aspect of your life, and you can't go anywhere without the government watching you. So yeah, it is good. I kind of want to read it again, especially after seeing
Here's
this.
a connection I made. So I thought about this. John Hurt, who is how do you say his name? Sussin? What's his he's like the main guy that V's trying to take out.
Oh, like the
Chancellor guy?
High Chancellor. What? Yeah.
Yeah, what about
what's that character's name? Well, anyways, he was the main character in the movie adaptation of 1984.
Oh, really?
Okay. John Hurt.
That's pretty cool.
Adam Sutler.
Sutler, that's it. Yeah.
Sutler, thank you.
Chancellor Sutler.
That's pretty cool. I didn't even know there was a movie adaptation of 1984.
Yeah. It's okay. A lot of people like it. I think I watched it late and I was just like,
actually, is that the movie that Apple used in like one of their commercials or whatever? Yeah. So that's the only reason I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
Yeah, that was an old one. Nice. I mean, I was talking about the action scenes, but like they're good. Like you can see like traces of like a little Matrix kind of stuff in there a little bit.
There's some inspiration for sure.
Post Matrix at that point, dude.
Like you start getting some of that stuff in there.
The camera moves in, the music is
especially at the end when V's taking out all those cops, with the guns. There's like a slow motion action sequence. Yeah, he's slitting throats. Yeah, it's very like it's not quite the right color blood. It's very it makes sense though. It's like comic booky. It's not too over the top gory or anything.
Realizing that Hugo was also Agent Smith in Matrix makes a lot more sense too. That we have both of them in this movie. Considering
there's definitely some connective
tissue. He did
tissue.
Star Wars and Matrix movies, and they kind of just mashed them together. But in general, how do you guys feel about the themes and the story? Is there anything?
Think about Trump. You think about
a lot of stuff.
I did. Like I think about like
that kind of stuff, and like just like activist movements, over the decades in America. Like we even got in the end credits like Malcolm X speaking, during the credits and things like that. So it definitely evokes political activist movements, and things that have happened in our country and in other countries. Obviously, like fucking Nazi Germany evokes a lot of feelings of that. But I'm always a fan of like dystopian future stories. So
like a dystopian future.
Yeah, I'm always.
Do you like where like the government is just totally lying to you and you have no idea what's true or not, and you're just
I love that
this shit. Bring down this shit.
I think they show that really well with like the TV station and how they're fabricating the news, fake news. But seriously though, in this movie, they are completely fabricating everything that they put out there on the news is catered in a way to make sure that the people, don't get the wrong idea. They send the exact message that they want them to hear.
Have you guys seen the one video? I think at some point I saw it on Twitter where it's like, I forget what event in the world happened, but like all the news stations came forward and had to give a statement, and like you can play news stations next to each other from around the country and they're all saying the exact same script as it's coming out from like completely different news stations in completely different cities. It's really creepy to hear.
Eerie,
and it makes it makes something like this seem a lot more feasible, because essentially like you have a select rich few that are owning multiple media monopolies, and stuff like this is not too far-fetched. I mean, this is a little more intense than I would say the United States
has the government completely controlling the media.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And like there's influences of that, but like this is like extreme. Like we know it to be true, and we know exactly. We see it happening when somebody gets killed off.
I mean, I think that's kind of the point of the movie, is to like, shed some light on like, okay, this could be our future. Maybe not to this extreme, but like
this is what we have to prevent.
This movie's trying to make a statement.
Vigilant.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Stay vigilant. Nice.
Absolutely.
And they made the whole, like, the government straight up went out and started just in 3 places. Like, Three Waters was a place, right? And they just killed like 300 kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's when they released the viruses. They did it in 3 spots to make it look more believable, which...
Yeah, to their own people. Just to gain power and get rich. So rich that you can just do what you want.
Yeah.
So total empires, total Star Wars empire.
Like, it's easier for, like, yeah, exactly like that. It's easier for a government to take control.
Or whatever, it's just...
everybody's being passive because they're scared as shit that they're gonna get fucking, get bombed.
Right.
Or blown
like
up
that little poor girl, man. You see her throughout the whole movie, and she finally starts doing it. Doesn't finish her V, and then she does. She got the mask on, and
something's gonna happen to her.
Like,
right
I
when
thought we
like...
saw her at the end of the movie again, though, too, or it might have been just another.
You just see all the people that died.
Right. That was the whole point of that last scene. Like,
standing there.
V is everybody. Like the little girl who died. They show other people who died throughout the movie.
Okay, yeah, I was a little confused there for a second. I'm like, wait a minute.
The 2 women.
Like when everybody takes off their masks, yeah. So like, yeah, because at the end, I like. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Yep. I like the message at the end when Evey kind of gives her speech. Like, they start with it in the beginning and kind of do a refrain at the end where it's like, a man. The man doesn't matter. It's the idea that lives on, and like even after V died, it didn't matter that he died. His ideals and what the movement that he started is what lives on in everybody. Like V is my mom, my dad, my brother. I'm
right.
V,
Right. So. You, me, it's everybody. Yeah.
When she was standing on the train there at the end, like, and she had like that weird calmness that came over her, I could not stop thinking about Keanu. Like, after Keanu comes back from the Matrix and he knows he knows everything and he can fuck stuff up, he has like that chill, like surfer bro calmness to him, and she had that exact same thing.
He knows. Yeah,
I was like, wow, she is the one as well, but she is the 2. But yeah, that I thought the ending, it was cool to see everybody march, and I kind of knew that was coming, but I don't know. I felt like it ended like abruptly, like not anticlimactically, but it's like, I don't know. It was just kind of like a, yep, we marched on City Hall and blew up Parliament, and then we all stand around and like, I don't know. Not that I want to see what happens after that, but I don't know. It was a cool moment, but I kind of saw it, like, you can see it coming a mile away. It's gonna happen.
Right.
Buildings don't blow up like that, let's be honest. It's just kind of funny.
Comic book movies, you kind of let some of that stuff
each
slide
part
by.
of the building blows up separately, so you can get a nice camera shot of it as
it
goes. Like,
of course.
The train was going underground, so as it was driving, it was carrying the explosion. No, I don't know, but I feel like I kind of agree with that.
Dave, what if the movie ended when the detective's looking at Evey and he's like, don't do it, and she just holds it, and the movie ends there, and then you hear the music play, dun, 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 dun. You never know.
I mean,
right?
What does she do?
You know that she's gonna pull it, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
because it does have a abrupt end.
Yeah, I don't know how else. I don't know how else we needed. I don't know if we needed anything else after that, because like, if you did add something else after that, it would probably extend this movie out another like 20 minutes, a half hour, which it was already feel like
it was already
long enough.
Movie.
I don't know if we need,
probably a little bit longer than it needed to be to begin with.
If I just needed like a final like over narrative, but I guess whatever, it's fine.
I mean, at that point, Statler was dead, so
I couldn't tell when the Jay Leno guy did the thing on TV, and he had like the 2 dueling Statlers or whatever.
Yeah,
he's making fun of the Chancellor or whatever. Like, those guys looked so spot on that who was the other bad guy, Conroy Creedy. when Creedy brings the Chancellor there, I'm like, is that the real Chancellor, or is he just feeding him like a fake guy? So V kills him, and they just wanted to kind of like suss him out, but
that'd be a good catch.
That would be, but then he got shot in the face, and kind of we're like, oh, okay,
that was it.
I guess he really is dead. But I don't know. It's so weird because it's got that weird, I don't know, dystopian future. Every time you see the Chancellor, he's on like this giant 50-foot fucking screen. Like for some reason, all the camera is showing is just like his dirty, nasty, tea-stained teeth, and he's just like barking out orders and shit.
Nice, yeah. Like, it's not a good angle.
Guy, like fucking have some chill. Apparently, he was hiding in a bunker though the whole time. Is that what I saw?
I mean, he was never out in public or anything, like he made his little news statement, but he never was like, you never saw him like out making speeches or whatever. So he knew he had a target on his back, especially, after V started pulling his stunts. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm more thinking about the ending. Like the ending did fall a little bit flat for me. Like I wasn't like pumped, like, yeah, this is cool. It's blowing up Parliament, Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know how else I would have wanted it to end. But like you said, Dave, it was predictable. Everything was kind of laid out, for us.
It was like the dominoes.
Like, I was hoping.
When did V have time to set up all those? Did he set up all those goddamn dominoes? Like, who knew he was a virtuoso of
dominoes?
Dominoes? I don't know. I wrote down like, this is the coolest fucking dominoes scene I've ever seen in a movie, because when have you ever seen fucking dominoes in a movie?
Do you think that was like CG, or did you think they actually set up all those dominoes?
No, I think they did that.
They probably had.
You think so?
Dude, there are people out there that are like domino fanatics.
That's true. They can make like art with dominoes. Yeah. That's true. I've seen those.
And then the way they had it, so it ends with the one at the very end that he picks up. He's always wearing a mask. Now, I know for us,
not always,
we can't see his face, which is pretty cool. Love it when an actor takes a role and they don't take the mask off ever. But like, he wears it around when nobody's there. He just wears it around.
I think just when Evey's
he doesn't
around.
Want to see his own face.
I don't know. I think he wears it all the time, because I think he tells Evey at one point, like, he's not the man he's not the whoever he was before is gone. He's just this embodiment of V now, and that's all he is, and that's all he stands for, and that's why he didn't really care if he died, because he was serving one purpose, and that was to get people to act and change the government and everything. So I think he served his purpose, and he didn't really he only had one goal in mind, and he didn't really care about his.
He wanted to die though.
Yeah.
Right. Like he could have taken all those people.
That was his plan. Round. His plan was to die.
He stood there and got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But his original plan must have been to make it to the train on his own, and then turn it on and then just laying there and get blown up at Parliament. So maybe, I don't know.
Because he was planning that, because he said,
let her make the decision for him.
Right, before.
Which is, I guess, more romantic and interesting.
Right. It was like I guess before that, I don't know, he probably planned to just do it himself, and then just, I don't know if he was, I would assume he was planning to go down with the train anyways. Like, I don't know, that was his, like he said, he served his purpose after he triggered the train, and he didn't have anything to do after that,
This train.
So
I'm leaving to you to do with what you will.
Is this another trick, V?
No more tricks, no more lies, only truth. And the truth is, you made me understand that I was wrong, that the choice to pull this lever is not mine to make.
Why?
Because this world, the world that I'm a part of and that I helped shape, will end tonight. And tomorrow a different world will begin that different people will shape. And this choice belongs to them.
Where are you going?
The time has come for me to meet my maker and to repay him in kind for all that he's done.
V, wait. Please, you don't have to do this. You could let it go. We could leave here together.
No. You were right about what I am. I've no tree waiting for me. All I want, all I deserve is at the end of that tunnel.
That's not true.
I don't know. I think his plan was to die all along, even if Evey never came along.
He was so.
He was dying.
He was going,
or he was just wanted to die.
It's the way the plan went. I don't know, like because he didn't have the plan to meet up with Creedy and kill the Chancellor until that kind of presented itself as well. So,
right,
yeah.
On the prisoner thing for Evey, let's talk about that little scene because that took up like a good chunk of the second act.
I totally fell for it the first time I saw this movie. I was like, whoa.
I mean, I fell for it this time. I didn't remember that. That's one of the scenes I didn't remember.
Well, because nobody shows their face and everything's black, and I'm like, that kind of sounds like Hugo.
Yeah, I was
you figured out later on, but like when he's about to tell her, it's like that's like his voice. Oh shit, what's going on? And then
at that point I knew, when he walked into the cell and was like, this is your last chance to tell me, or else we're gonna take you out behind the shed and shoot you.
Yeah, she should have been like,
the chemical
"Why
shed.
you speaking in an English accent?
Oi, fucker!" Like have her just be like some dirty street rat. But no, I thought like if somebody did that to me, I would be pretty pissed because he was like not waterboarding her, but like shaved her head and dunking
her head in the toilet. And trying to...
Is that where they were torturing her? Was the toilet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering... And he just happened to have, like, a prison cell set up in his basement. Like, hey, I'm just set this up down here.
He must have known that he must have yearned to have somebody. He's just waiting for the right person, maybe. And...
Yeah, I think that was probably it.
Or he's just... I mean, you can always have those set up just in case you take prisoners. Like, maybe...
For his sick, twisted fantasies.
It could be. But I thought there was one part where like Natalie Portman's going from like being tortured, and then she's like the kid in the Never-Ending Story where she's like going back to find her book and like read her little book and just like read a little bit of toilet paper to read like the story about the lesbian couple that like. And I mean I'm like I was curious like while those scenes were going on, I'm like, why are these random, like we're getting a random story about like we already know that the fascists are, fucking racist, they're sexist, they're all sorts of, I don't know, fascist scumbags, really. Murdering anybody that doesn't fall in line with them with their, blonde hair, blue eyes kind of ideology or whatever. But that threw me off there for a little bit, and because it got really slow. That's the point where the wife fell asleep. So I know that's the point where the movie got really slow.
This movie does a lot. It throws a lot at you. There's a lot of characters and there's a lot of things there's a lot of story. So that part, it's kind of slow, but I mean, I like it. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you think that whole couple was a lie of his. Only to find out that it's not. And he's like, this is like all these people were denied a life. This place won't let them have people like them have a life. We could do something about it. Like it's our government and that's not their government. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good message at the end. Like I think that part hit pretty well. Yeah. I mean, choosing violence is always feels weird. So I'm like, in this moment though, does it make sense? And I'm like, I mean, I hope there's nobody working there. It's like a nice person, like as a janitor, there's like cleaning there. I hope they cleared everybody out of the building. But if there's a lot of innocent people that he killed a lot of
you're talking about Parliament, like when it got bombed. I assume because they knew it was coming, so they definitely had evacuated everybody out of there at that point. Okay, because like he told them, like, hey, a year from now, blowing up Parliament, so. Nobody's working on November 5th.
Don't check the sewers. Whatever you do, don't go underground and look down there, right? Because apparently he's a stonemason too, and he said it took him like 10 years to like relay the track.
Yeah, he rebuilt the tracks and shit.
Shit, dude is an engineer too. Holy fuck,
can do anything.
But yeah, there are some really weird parallels to like current day, ideology. Whether we're talking like political state of the United States, like the religious Republicans who are like, you know, no gays, no immigrants, rah, 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 like all that
heavy
kind
focus
of,
on
like Fox
on
News. Like Fox News is essentially like the news station that's on this, that's like being portrayed here essentially. So
I mean, that Bishop dude, he was like I said, at the facility, one of the highest paid dudes. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
She's
so
stuck into the
fucked up.
church. Yeah.
Like, and she's wearing like some pink, like little, I don't know, school. I don't even know what to fucking call it.
Yeah, it's,
I don't know.
She looked like she was out of like some anime or something like that. But
yeah,
the bishop could
He's
not
like,
have
how
been...
old? I hope she's not too old. That's when they remember something. I'm like, this guy sucks.
Oh, it's so fucking creepy. Like the way he's like getting into it though, and he's like,
dude,
this is
I've
great
never
story.
played this before. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Like, yeah, that guy.
You're definitely saying something with that character because, you know, that's what they say with Catholic priests, you know?
I mean,
so like, yeah, there's definitely like a commentary being made there. Yeah, that scene was it was crazy. She tried to escape though. She's like, "Fuck this!" So like, you're gonna get killed. This guy's really gonna kill you. It goes down, and then she tries to escape, and that's when he captures her. He must have known that she was gonna do that, or he anticipated it.
No, it was when she left and
When
she
Evey
got the
was
fuck
gonna
out of
jail.
there. She went over to her boss's house. Dietrich.
Yeah.
Dietrich. And then when Dietrich's houses got raided, that's when V grabbed her, essentially. So yeah, obviously, yeah, no one knew she was there. When does V sleep? He's got time for, like, relaying subway tracks. He's gathering all these chemicals.
You know what
from
my question is?
bombs. Like, holy shit, this guy's got no sleep
Where the
schedule.
fuck does he get all the money for this shit? He doesn't work.
He just steals it.
He doesn't. You think he's stealing shit?
Well, he's stealing food. He's stealing all that artwork down in his
How
basement.
did he manufacture all of these masks? Also,
ordered them on eBay.
Dude, I don't know. I think about that too. I'm like, how is any of this going up? How's it going down?
Yeah, like he's just one dude. Like, how did he get all these masks ordered and distributed? How is he paying for his fancy house and bunker?
Maybe he sold some
building
artwork.
these train tracks.
I forgot there was like 70,000 like masks delivered, wasn't there? And cloaks. He must have
stole some shit, because if you think about it, he was a nobody, you know, captured in this facility getting experimented on. Then he escapes, and where does he go? How does it, you know?
I was wondering that about Evey when she escapes V's place and she just goes out into the wild and she has no ID, she has nothing. Like, how is she eating, and how is she like all these new scenes she's done in V's basement? Part. She's just got like new. Lisa, that was one thing my wife was commenting on. She's like, where does she get all these fucking outfits from? Like, every time she's coming out from being captured, she's always got something that fits her body type. I'm like, well, maybe
I noticed that.
She's always got like these nice, like small, like V-necks.
When she stays at her boss's place, she's like, here, come in, and she like takes a shower or whatever, and she comes in, she's wearing like the perfect black sweatshirt or something.
Right?
Yeah.
You just happen to have that, dude?
You know?
Yeah.
He's got all sorts of...
Just suspension of disbelief.
He robbed Dick's Sporting Goods and stole their women's section.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this movie. It was like, very convenient, but whatever, you know. Yeah, that's just on the production side. But I like the story. The music was pretty good.
Yeah,
I like the oldies.
You know?
The oldies are a good touch.
Yeah,
like
the classics.
They're outlawed.
Rolling Stones at the end, and it's good.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the 1812 overture.
Oh no, not that old.
Real oldies,
classics.
The classics, yeah.
They're nice
Tchaikovsky in there.
But I mean, it makes good sense when you're blowing up buildings to play some good old bombastical classical like overtures. So.
Yeah,
they really wanted you to like this guy though, like with the music, with the jukebox, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would play that, and like that was like his kind of way of.
He's a sensitive soul. Watching the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, he had fucking butterflies up on the wall, like butterflies, like little pinned, like science butterflies.
Collects.
Like,
he's a collector.
So he's got a gentle touch and a gentle soul, and like a sweet taste in music, I guess.
Yes, and he wears an apron.
Yes, of course.
And oh my god,
Eggie's in the basket, or what do you call him, Eric?
It's toad in a hole for me.
Toad in
I've
a
always
hole.
called it that.
So this is one thing that
Toad
I saw. Brandon, have you ever had these before?
Yeah, you
I don't know.
just cut a little circle.
Evie's captured.
Bread.
Like she wakes up and he's making breakfast, and it's these little toast things with the egg in the middle. And Eric, what were you saying?
What's a Benedict Arnold
It's
or whatever?
it's easy to make.
No,
all
eggs
you do.
Benedict, not Benedict Arnold.
Benedict Arnold.
Close though.
You just take a slice of bread. Take a slice of bread, cut a little hole in the center, butter it up.
You butter it after you do the cup in the hole in the middle?
Yeah. Well, you could butter it before. That would probably be easier. Put it in your pan, crack an egg in the hole, wait for the egg to cook on one side, and then you just flip the bread over, cook it on the other side, and boom.
And you can eat it all in one piece like that? Eggies in a basket?
Or with a knife and fork. Yeah, whatever.
So what do you do with the hole that you cut out? Do you cook that as well on the side?
I've seen some people cook that and replace that on top of the egg, or just throw it away or eat it or whatever.
Throwing it away is horrible. What kind of bread are we talking about?
Just eat a circle of bread.
You're doing like
nice little sourdough.
Okay. No, some of this.
If you want to get fancy.
V?
Ah, bonjour, mademoiselle.
I just wanted to apologize for my reaction last night. I understand what you did for me, and I want you to know I am grateful. Your hands.
Yes. There, that's better. I hope I didn't put you off your appetite.
No, please, it's just, you're all right.
Oh, yes, I'm fine.
Can I ask what happened?
There was a fire a long time ago. Ancient history for some. Not really very good table conversation. Now, would you care for a cup of tea with your egg?
Yes, thank you. I'm starving, actually.
Have a seat.
It was delicious.
Good.
God, I haven't had real butter since I was a little girl. Where'd you get it?
Government supply train on its way to Chancellor Sutler.
You stole this from Chancellor Sutler?
Yes.
You're insane.
I dare do all that may become a man who dares more is none.
Macbeth.
There is an article on. I was shocked at how simple it was because it looked so delicious in the movie.
Very simple, yeah.
But no, eggies in the basket.
Liked his cooking.
We had a toad in a hole. I forget. There was a couple different names on the Discord as well.
Chris Logan on our Discord said a different name for him. But hold on, I'll have to look. Continue with the discussion.
I mean, I like just talking about that. I mean, what else is there? Let's see. There is the birds. They also call it the bird's nest, egg in a basket, the Popeye.
Oh, Chris Logan says one-eyed Jack.
The one-eyed Jack. That was what I was just going to say next, right there.
Because I said everybody has a different name for this dish. Like every person I've met that has made this has a different name.
Right here.
For it.
And in a confusing twist to the Brits, it's called Toad in a Hole. There you go, Eric.
Toad in a Hole. Yep.
You must be British, somewhere deep in your ancestry.
I don't know. That's what it's. That's
bullseye eggs, egg in a frame, egg in a hole, egg in a nest. Gas house special. I don't know what the fuck you call that. Pirate's eye. Like there's a lot of shit going on here, but it's an egg and a piece of bread, which I don't know. It might have to be my next breakfast this weekend.
And it's got to be like it can't be overcooked.
You break the yolk.
Still got to be runny.
You don't break the yolk. Okay, see?
It's basically like an over easy egg. Like you flip it over, and you cook the yolk just a little bit, enough for it to have a little.
I gotta
crust
crack that.
on it.
I gotta crack that fucking yolk. I can't have that.
What? No,
Sorry.
No. You got to have the runny yolk. That defeats the whole purpose.
No, thanks. I pass. I crack it either one. Well, that is it for this week's Eggcast. Thank you for listening to our greatest breakfast recommendations. But
so while you guys were talking about this, I was thinking about what the hell do you think Evey was thinking? Could you imagine this happening to you, where you're just in this underground room with all this crazy artwork, and then this guy who can kill people is wearing a mask and a wig, and he talks the way he's talking, it's like the most unique person you've ever met in your life. Like, I would be like, dude, this is weird.
I am
like,
all into that. You telling me I don't have to go to work?
Crazy person.
I don't have to go to goddamn work, and I can just sit down here, eat whatever I want, and read books, and just fucking relax and chill. Like, yes, sign me up for another 10 years of being in this basement.
You wouldn't be creeped the fuck out. Like, she lets her guard down pretty quick.
Yeah, that's true.
She wants to make out with the mask.
She does.
It's not the mask; it's the man behind.
Take your mask off.
Yeah,
it's true.
Have lips. Oh, no, I don't have eyelids. Ah! Like, you're not gonna kiss me.
Imagine what he looks like on there. I couldn't stop thinking of like Deadpool. You know, that's what I imagine he looks like.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because you do get a glimpse of the hands, and the hands are pretty gnarly. The hands look very Deadpool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same kind of thing. You get
digits,
full body burn. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, poor guy is burned all over.
Whatever, you know. It
must be an extreme pain, right? Because like he seems to be all calm and collected, but he's got to be in constant pain.
All scar tissue by now. It's just all.
Maybe he's a drug addict.
Oh my god, it's gotta hurt so much though.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel bad for people that are burn victims, but like that, like he might be using that rage because like there's one time when Evey leaves him, he lets his guard down. He like throws his mask into like a mirror or something like that, and he breaks shit. It
was when she leaves, because
he's mad because she left, right?
He's got love.
I just told you I haven't danced to all 184 songs or 800 songs.
Want to dance?
You want to dance with me?
Which was kind of weird, but
you don't want to dance with me? Like, no, you're creepy, dude.
I mean, he was holding her hostage in his basement. I mean, you kind of. What is the prisoner, Freudenschein or whatever?
A dude that's wearing a mask at all times.
When the captor falls in love with the terrorist, or was it? I don't know.
What is
what it is called.
The girl,
the captor falls in love with
whoever
sympathy. The kidnappee.
Yeah,
kidnappee falls in love with kidnapper. I don't know, whatever.
Kidnappee.
Cool. No. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on here? I mean, we kind of been jumping around the entire time. I feel the need that I kind of want to read this book now.
The graphic novel, yeah.
The graphic novel.
I've read 10 issues, you know. Not too bad, yeah.
I've read Watchmen. Watchmen was really good too. That was a pretty long, bigger book. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what the real differences are between the book and the movie. If I would be as upset as Alan Moore is, I don't know. Kind of felt like he was being a little bit of a writer snob to kind of make that big of a grandstand against the movie, but
yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's aged
it's
fine.
Good. I think
it's totally worth going back and checking it out.
Yeah.
There's no bad acting in it. I think it's just weird that two, I don't know, non-English people were in the roles, like the lead roles, but they did a great job of what they had.
Yeah, I think I would probably agree with that. Like it's a good movie. I don't think it's reinventing the wheel. I don't think it's anything crazy special, but it's a good story, especially if you like dystopian futures and fascist downfalls of fascist regimes. So it's worth it for that. And like you said, the acting is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Natalie and Hugo are kind of on full display here.
Yeah, I thought I like the investigator's character too.
I was gonna say the genres that they throw in it are fun. There's the investigator going on, chasing after a guy going killing people one by one.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie. Maybe that's to its detriment. Maybe it tried to do too many things and fell short on a couple areas. But
it's over 2 hours, so that's like a full movie. Like you got time. Like this ain't Lord of the Rings or anything.
Could you have done a trilogy of this if you knew now what the story and do you think they could have, or they could have delved deeper into?
I think they could have delved deeper into the backstory of Evey and V and whatnot. But
that might be a little long. But
it might make
maybe
a good.
Two.
It might make a good 1 season, 8 episode HBO series or something. Each episode could be hunting down one of these, people
the first episode could be about the original guy.
Yeah.
And then being hung. Episode ends. Next one is Evie's story.
Yep.
And it's the rest of the season. Yeah, dude.
I mean, 10 episodes, cool. Hour an episode. Yeah, you're looking at like another 8 hours of more V.
Or if the people over at Telltale Games.
That would be cool. That would actually...
Which one you go after.
Right. Making decisions on whether you want to blow up Parliament or not. Among Us at work.
Yeah.
Do you pull the lever or not?
Oh, right. Right.
Yeah, we all
that would be cool.
Over.
That would be cool.
Keep them alive, let them go, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that should do it for today. I'm glad we went back and rewatched this. It was kind of a cool revisiting to see, but we'll put a pin in it there. Why don't we take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to play a little game. We'll call it V for questions.
Victory?
V for victory, sure. Call it that. We'll play that right when we come back after this voracious, victorious vindication of videos. Welcome back. We are here for the victorious, vicious vindication of virtues, where you two will play as a team, I guess, today, because I think it's always fun when we play as a team. You guys can
listen. We are all V.
That is true. We are all V. So
we are all V.
In this game, we are all answers will begin with the letter V. Imagine that. These are not exactly
nice hint.
Lining up with the movie, but these are all just random trivia questions that I could find that we are going with the topic of V. So I got 7 questions here. If you guys get, I will say 4 right, well, you can go to space camp. You can go to V camp and
get to blow up Parliament.
Blow up your own Parliament. Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's get started here. Question number 1. Name the European capital city, which is also hit by the group Ultravox. Was it, I don't know what Ultravox is, but
what?
Vienna, Valletta, Vaduz, or Venice?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Name the European capital city, which also a hit group, hit by the group Ultravox.
Oh, a hit by the group. So it must be a song name.
Ultravox is a British new wave band formed in London.
Okay, so it must be a song by Ultravox. That was the name also.
Also, the name of a European capital city. Is it Vienna, Valletta, Vaduz, or Venice?
My gut says Venice. What are you thinking over there?
I don't know.
Vienna, Valletta.
Vienna's good.
Vaduz.
I know. I was thinking
or Venice.
Vienna too.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. It's a shot in the dark, so
this one's a little tougher, but they get easier. Don't worry. Don't be vexed by my voracious questions. I don't know.
Let's go with Venice.
Choice there?
Sure. Okay. Brandon had a good feeling about Venice.
Venice is incorrect. It is Vienna.
I
double
thought about
Vienna.
Vienna.
Which makes me want to go listen to this Ultravox song called Vienna. But all right. Question number 2. Name the country in South America that contains Angel Falls, the world's highest waterfall with a total drop of 3,200 feet. Is it in Venezuela, Vietnam, Vanuatu, or Vatican City?
What?
It's got to be Venezuela because none of those other ones are in South America.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Venezuela is correct.
What was up with that?
Vietnam, Vatican City.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't know your geography. Who knows? You could. Congratulations.
All right, we're on the board.
On to question number 3. Name the capital city of Malta. Is it Venice, Valletta, Vienna, or Vaduz? Capital city of Malta.
I don't know, dude. What do you think?
Just for reference, Malta is a tiny little island off of the coast of...
It's not Venice or...
Sicily, it looks like.
It's not Venice or Vienna. What were the other ones?
Valletta, Venice, Valletta, Venice, Vienna, Vaduz.
It's either Vaduz or... What was the other one? That's too many V's. Valletta.
Valletta, Venice, Vienna, Vaduz.
Vaduz.
You pick, man. You pick.
Valletta. I don't know.
Eric's usually good at these. He's good at the process of elimination, usually, in these multiple choice ones.
Let's go with Valletta.
That answer is correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
It
was process of elimination.
Malta.
Nice. All right, now I know that.
The Republic of Malta, island country in southern Europe, located in the Mediterranean Sea.
All right.
Valletta. Nice. You guys
Capital
are
of Malta.
2 for 3. Kind of better than I thought you'd be doing here. All right. Another geography one. Name the waterfalls on one waterfall is good on the river Zambezi on the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia.
I thought this was V's, not Z's.
I know this is Z's, but it's we're gonna call it Victoria Cross, Victoria Roll, Victoria Nile, or Victoria Falls.
What?
Name the waterfall on the river Zambezi on the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia. Victoria Cross, Victoria Roll, Victoria Nile, or Victoria Falls.
I mean, Victoria Falls seems too obvious.
But we've heard that's a real place, of Victoria Falls, right? Is that not real?
Wasn't it Victory Falls? Wasn't the other one the Victory Falls from the?
No, they're all Victoria. It's either Cross, Roll.
I thought
Nile,
there was another question that was Victory Falls, something in there.
Victoria.
Victoria Falls just seems too obvious.
Yeah,
Angel Falls.
Okay.
But I don't know what Cross or what is the other one? Not Nile.
Cross, Roll, Nile, or Falls.
What is Cross and
Name
Roll?
the waterfall on the river
Victoria
Zambezi.
I would I don't know. Just go with Falls because I don't fucking know. Probably not Nile. Answer? I don't know what Cross or Roll is.
Yeah,
Brandon, you're nodding over there.
I'll go with Nile. I like your pick.
Nile or Falls?
What did you? No,
I said Falls.
I thought
not Falls.
I thought you said Falls was too obvious.
Yeah, but now it's making me think the obvious one is the answer. Dave's trying to trick us.
I'm not trying to trick you.
Then Dave is trying to trick us.
This is funtrivia.com. That's trying to.
Funtrivia.com.
Okay. Falls is correct.
There we go. See,
the name of the waterfall is
Victoria Falls. Trying to trick us.
Nice. Too obvious. All right, that's 3. You guys one more, and you guys are good to go here. All right. Let's see. Let's give you guys this one. This sounds fun. Name the smallest member of the camel family, which resembles the llama. Is it the vicuna, venison, vulpine, or vole?
Well, I know it's not a vole.
The smallest member of the camel family.
Vole is a little mouse. Venison or Venice. What was the other one? Venison is deer meat.
Vicuna or vulpine were the other two.
Vicuna or vulpine? I think vulpine is something else. I feel like I've heard of that before. So, by process of elimination, I would probably say vicuna.
Brandon, you look like you're...
I mean, Eric's on a roll, and I feel like I'm listening to him like, that makes sense to me.
I know it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
So I'll go with vulcuna.
No, vicuna?
Vicuna, that one.
Not vulpine? Brandon?
Not vulpine.
You're good? You're good?
I'm good with that.
All right. Vicuna is the correct answer.
Yeah.
There you go. You guys win.
Nice work, Eric.
A vole is a small rodent. Vulpine relates to fox, and venison
That's
is
what
the flesh of a deer.
I only know that because Vulpix is a fox Pokemon.
See, the Pokemon knowledge is all coming through. It's paying off.
That's crazy.
Dividends now.
Oh, that's funny.
I am shocked and amazed. Well, congratulations, guys. You guys did.
Wait, is there more?
Better than that. Well, I mean, you guys got the 4.
I want to know the other ones now. We're on a roll.
Okay, we can keep going. Bonus points to see if you guys get all expenses paid. This is a pretty easy one. An easy one. Name the sedative drug used in the treatment of anxiety, muscle spasms, epilepsy. Is it Vena Cava, Viagra, Valium, or vitamin A?
It's Valium.
Sedative drug used in the treatment of anxiety, muscle spasms, and
Valium, please. I would like some Valium, please.
Valium is correct. Vena cava is the main vein of vertebrates that supply heart with the blood.
Did you literally Google V quizzes or something? Where'd you find this quiz?
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
We got to find something that, like, I don't know. What else am I going to quiz you guys on? Anarchy in the UK and
right. No, I'm surprised that this quiz exists, but I like it.
There is all a quiz for everything. All right. That is 5 out of 6. All right. I think this is the last one. Here we go.
All right. Let's see it. Let's hear it.
If you do get this one wrong, it will be kind of shocking.
This all or nothing?
Who is the major god of Hinduism along with Brahma and Shiva?
Oh.
Is it Varuna, Vishnu, Vayu, or Valhalla?
Vishnu.
Yeah. Valhalla.
Vishnu is correct.
Nice.
Varuna is the Hindu god of water. Vayua is the Hindu god of the wind. Valhalla, obviously from Norse mythology. So,
and we know our V's.
There is your V quiz for June 29th. So,
beautiful.
Congratulations. You guys did much better than there. There are a lot of multiple.
We almost got the first one right too, Eric. If I would have just listened to you,
I would.
You know, dude, you're on fire.
That was just a complete would have been a guess, anyways. But
let me see what Brandon can offer. Out of the way. Let me get this one. Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. I did not know a V quiz existed.
Well, better luck next time. I was feeling like I could have looked for a V Jeopardy, but I thought Brandon's face might explode. So
I got it.
We decided to go away.
I hope you edit an episode, a Jeopardy episode
someday. All right, amazing. Great. All right. It was cool to watch. It was cool to catch up on this one. Eric, why don't you hit us with the socials if people want to send us an idea of something to watch, something cool to do, something to check out. How do they get a hold of us?
Sure. Take us home here. If you want to reach out to us, get a hold of us, you can go to Twitter or Instagram at Nomads of Fantasy. You can join our Discord, the nomadsofantasy.com/Discord. You can visit just nomadsoffantasy.com for all your nomad needs. What map? The merch store. Email us, nomadsoffantasy.com. No, nomadsoffantasy@gmail.com. That is the email address.
That sounds better. Yep.
That's all I got.
All right, great. Next week we're getting into Stand By Me. can't wait to watch that. Summertime classic. So if you'd like to play along at home, feel free to watch that with us, I guess.
Damn it. I did the same thing last week. I started the outro music too early.
Oh, I'm
gonna have to play it again.
All right,
that's okay. You get to listen to the outro music again.
We're good.
All right.
As always,
that's all. Yeah, that's all I got.
Please.
Any closing remarks? Now we can fill time because it's replaying again. But if not, as always, safe travels, nomads.
Safe travels.
Safe travels, nomads.
Blowing up Parliament's going to make this country a better place?
There's no certainty, only opportunity.
Well, I think you can be pretty certain that if anyone does show up, Creedy will black bag every one of them.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
And you're going to make that happen by blowing up a building?
The building is a symbol, as is the act of destroying it. Symbols are given power by people. Alone, a symbol is meaningless, but with enough people, blowing up a building can change the world.
I wish I believed that was possible. But every time I've seen this world change, it's always been for the worse.